Do I need to do anything, Jackie?
No, not at all. We're ready. So welcome. Thank you, everyone. This is Jackie Geisinger, your Regional Leadership Development Director for the Amber region. This is our final August webinar of the month for leaders and future leaders. And I am most happy to bring you today a special training segment with our National Account Manager for Jafra from the Zoom headquarters. So I want to introduce you all to Mr. Isaac Hansen. Thank you for joining us, Isaac.
Hi, ladies. Yeah, it's a pleasure. And I will give just a little insight before we get started here. About a year and a half ago, we created a team focused solely on the direct selling industry. And I've been a part of that team since then. Actually have moved on, but still am working with Jafra and still obviously understand how Zoom is going to be utilized within this industry. So, Jackie, if you could remind me, I just got back. I was actually in Minnesota this weekend and got back yesterday and then came in this morning and then had an 8 o'clock and now I have this 9 o'clock and then I have a 10 o'clock. So you miss one day and then the next day is just completely packed because you didn't have any meetings. So Jackie, just kind of give me that insight. I know the one thing is basically how do we utilize Zoom? How do we best utilize to grow our team, manage our team, increase culture within the team. So I'll go over our IM client and how we can create groups and directly contact people there. But do you have anything else, Jackie? Any other specifics that you really want me to focus on?
Yes, thank you. So let me introduce you to your audience today. So the audience that you have is a group of leaders who host meetings themselves. They do coaching like I do with them. So it could be one-on-one camera usage. They do small group meetings because their consultant base is spread across the United States. Or they may be running a live meeting in a room and adding a component of Zoom so it's recorded, or they can bring their audience from the nation together. So because many of them are either using the free account, so they're either using that or they're advancing, of course they're into the $14.95 account each month, and I may have the price off, but it's really to just see for them. We're entering, Isaac, our busiest season of the year where we can even utilize this with our clients and do a live holiday shopping show, right? So for us, it's a place where how do we keep our clients and our consultants engaged? How do we utilize this as a platform? So it's those core basics, but I'm sure they'll add in some great questions on just the best way to use this to elevate our team spirit, our connectivity, and even our client base. So does that help a little bit?
Yes, that gives me some insight. And as I'm discussing, if you do have any questions, feel free just to interrupt me at any time, and we'll have that. I'll answer it live at the end. If you do think of something, we'll also try to leave a couple minutes at the end to also review questions. Jackie, can you do me a favor and make me a co-host just so I have all of those features?
Sure, ladies that came in as a host. So I'm not quite a host here.
Let me tell you who the host is. It looks like, actually, Lori, you are the host.
So you want to be host or co-host?
Co-host is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go. Just to give me a little more features and functionality. Okay, so let's just kick it off. And we'll start. I guess everybody here has utilized Zoom, correct? Or in some capacity, whether it's the free or paid. It looks like I'm seeing a lot of head nodding. Yes, awesome. So to schedule meetings, there's a lot of ways. And I'm not going to cover them all because there's multiple ways to schedule these meetings. But one thing that I am going to recommend is creating your own PMI or personal meeting ID. And the reason I'm recommending that is there's a value add in terms of having that static number. And if, within your industry, if you're going to have clients, customers that are reaching out and maybe they have not used Zoom in the past, let's see. The static sound. So Janet, I'm seeing your question.
Yeah.
The static sound, that's going to be, I mean, there's that could be a million things. I'm not hearing a static sound, so it might just be your speaker.
No,
That's
I'm not now, but when I use it
oh,
in Mexico, or, you know, talking to someone in Mexico, I get it a lot. So I wondered.
yeah. So that could be a variety of things. That could be the connection that they have. Obviously, if you don't have the bandwidth to accommodate this, especially if you're talking Mexico or something along those lines, where it might be not as much connectivity, that could be the cause of it. If they have a speaker that's not appropriate for the room, so if you're in a big room and you're trying to just use your Mac speaker or your PC speaker, that's also not ideal. So it could just be the speaker that they have, the mic and speakers that they're utilizing.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And yeah, I'm actually using, so I've had a couple comments. I'm actually using our virtual background here. And with that, I can, let's see, that could be wherever we want to be. And so I'm using the one that does not, you can see this. If you don't use the green screen, I'm just actually have nothing behind me. So if you don't choose to use the actual green screen, it's not as clean, but I can stand up this way. I know Jackie has the actual green screen where you can pop that behind your desk, and then it's going to be an even more or an even better experience.
Right now, we're seeing your actual data versus seeing what you might be showing them. Are you showing them the green screen? Because we don't see that.
Oh, yeah. So
There you go.
Yeah, so I have my green screen on where I can change this to whatever background I want to utilize. And behind me, there is nothing actually, but you can see these little green screens. So if I select and say I have a green screen, it's actually only going to pick up what is on those green screens. And it's going to be a little cleaner look than the no green screen that I'm using, but I prefer to stand in my meetings. So I'm going to just, I'm going to utilize that one instead. So I'm going to say, I don't have a green screen, and then just cover this up.
So can you put a photo on that? I mean,
Yeah, you can, yep, you can utilize anything.
anything, okay.
Yep, anything you can find on the internet. And I'll show you, it's pretty simple. I'm going to share my screen here again. So I'm going to share my whole screen. When you're in a Zoom meeting, if you come down here and go to the little caret by the virtual background, you'll have this virtual background tab here, and you can change it to whatever you want as your backdrop.
Okay, so where it says new, you can download your own picture.
Oh, yeah, right here. I would just select, and then any file that I have saved, I can search and add it in there.
Okay.
So could you show them, Isaac, how did you find the Jafra backdrop that you used?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was very simple. I think I literally just typed in so I just went to images, found the Jafra headquarters or the logo, whatever I wanted to use, right-click save, and then just go, once you save it, just go find it in that toolbar that are in here like I was showing you, and you can drop it in there. Very simple. Takes you less than a minute to complete that.
And then can you tell them, please, where would you get a green screen and an approximate cost to that?
Mm-hmm. Great question. It is called the Webaround. And in here, you'll see these green screens that you can tie to the back of your chair. And they are, I recommend the wide shot here. And I think it's $60. We do have a Zoom promo code that you can add. And that is simply, I think it's just Zoom. If I can get to the cart, there we go. Yeah, so if we just go Zoom, apply promo code, and then you'll get that 10% discount off of that. So that is thewebaround.com is where you can purchase these backgrounds.
So I know you loved his office view, but it's not true.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not up in the mountains.
I know, it's like, doesn't he have a beautiful office? So again, some computers, Isaac, if I remember correctly, have this where you don't, like it's built within the system, but they're the newer versions. Do you remember what versions those are?
Yeah, you need to have, essentially, it's the processing power of your Mac. And I would say it has to be purchased probably within the last 6 months maybe. And you might have the process, but any other, if you have an older Mac, for the most part, if it's really old, you might not even have that virtual background because the computer can't handle the technology that we're providing it. But for the most part, whether it's a Mac or a PC, you will be able to utilize it with that green screen. And I would recommend it. It definitely changes that meeting, and also leads to some talking points too if you want to play it that way. So I see Linda's playing with hers and got hers on.
And same on your phones, correct? Like the 8.8 version of iPhone,
Yep.
Anything later, newer, I shall say, could have the potential. You could do that as well, right on your Zoom camera. Again, it's based on the technology.
Yep. So it's also available on the mobile device. So if you're on the go, you can turn that green screen on or that background on, and it'll work.
How do I turn it off, Isaac?
Go back to the same spot, and then there's the option to select none up there.
Oh, I see.
You're really out there in outer space, Linda. Nice.
I know. I don't see none on mine. Sorry.
So,
there it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so great. Always this happens every time you see his background, you just go instantly to that. So we've got that covered. Let's take this to that static number, like your meeting. So if I want to constantly keep a meeting code, so go for it, Isaac. Thank you for that.
Yep. So let's get back. So the PMI I was mentioning, there's multiple ways to schedule meetings, but in here, if you go to zoom.us and then click my profile. So let me go back there and show you guys exactly what we're doing here. So my account, and then under that first tab, profile, one, you're going to have this picture. What this picture is, if you have your video off, that's actually what's going to show up. So if I would come here and just turn my video off, you're going to see that profile picture that I have selected. So you can add that on this page. And then also right here is where I wanted to show you, and let's annotate and spotlight so you guys can track where I'm at. This PMI, you can customize this. So if I come in here, if you have a paid account with Zoom, you can customize this to any 10-digit number that you want. So utilizing a number that you're going to remember is going to help you for a variety of reasons. And what that use case is going to be is if you have a potential customer that's coming in and they're interested in purchasing product or getting a training from you or whatever, and they say, oh, I can't find the email you sent me. Could be a variety of things. It could be in their junk mail. Maybe they deleted it. There's a lot of things that happen. But if you remember this personal meeting ID number, what you can actually do is just tell them, go to zoom.com, click join a meeting by ID, and then just rattle that off. So I know mine, 605-695-9454. They click enter, they are now in my meeting. So it's just another way to bring a user into that Zoom meeting. I don't recommend doing them all that way because it's easier if you can just send them an email and then they click on the link and they're in, but sometimes that's not the case. This is kind of a safety valve to get those individuals into the meeting. All right, and I'm looking at the chat. And no, you don't have to schedule. So I don't always use that ID. Typically what I'll do is I'll just schedule it through my calendar, and then it creates a generic meeting ID number, and then I just send that email. So then that way those individuals just click and join my meeting. But if I do need a quick one, so let's say Jackie shoots me a message and says, hey, can we meet quick? Rather than having to go schedule a meeting, I can just tell her, if we're not connected on the IM client, which I'll discuss next, but I can just tell her, yeah, go to zoom.us, 605-695-9454, click join. She's now in my meeting. So it's going to help that way. Also on this page, things that I would take note to. So, I mentioned we can change this profile picture. You can change your personal meeting ID number. And then there are some settings in the meetings, and you can go through, oops, these are my upcoming meetings, but you can go into the meetings tab and play with these. A couple of things that I do that I like is the join before host. So if you're going to be late for an event, this allows your individuals to get into the meeting prior to you. You get an email from Zoom also that tells you that, hey, whoever has joined your meeting. Let's see what else in here. I think most of the information you have is probably, or most of the settings you guys have already are pretty good, but the breakout room is the other one that I wanted to touch on. The breakout room is going to be your ideal tool for trainings. And what I can do with the breakout room is take a large conversation, especially if we have a room of this size. We got 27 people in here right now. And we all know how it goes, where maybe Jackie starts us off. This is what we're going to talk about today. It's a new product release. And there might be 2 or 3 people that kind of take over that conversation, and you got 25 people that are just sitting back and listening. With the breakout room, what we can do now is actually put everybody into smaller groups and let them have conversations. So maybe I want to make 14 groups of 2 and allow you to do that. And rather than actually running it, because that's going to take a little bit of time, I'm going to go to our support page and I'm going to show you a video and exactly what the breakout room looks like.
Video
Make sure I have sound. Yep.
breakout rooms allow Zoom users to easily place meeting attendees into sub-meetings for group discussion, activities, projects, and more. To get started, log in at zoom.us and view the meeting settings section. Click to edit advanced settings and make sure that breakout rooms is checked. The next time you host a Zoom meeting, you will see the breakout rooms button at the bottom of the Zoom panel. While you are sharing your screen, the button is under the More menu. Click here to start using breakout rooms. Zoom will show the number of eligible participants. Choose how many rooms to create and let Zoom assign the participants automatically, or choose to manually assign for more control, as we'll demonstrate here. Create breakout rooms to proceed. Your breakout rooms are now available, and participants are still in the main meeting. Float your mouse over the breakout room to rename or delete the room. Click to assign participants, check their names, and click Assign again. Do this for each breakout room. Your participants are now assigned. If you want to change an assignment, float your mouse over a participant name where you can move the participant to another room or exchange the participant with someone already assigned to another room. When you're ready, click to open all rooms. This will cause your participants to automatically move into their assigned breakout room. The list will...
So just to help you guys better understand what happened there. So there's 6 people in this room, all in the same Zoom room. What Joshua just did was Art, Heather, and Marco, once he clicks create breakout rooms, those 3 individuals are going to leave this room and be in their own Zoom meeting. And then same thing for Liz, Kaylin, and the other individual. Those 3 are going to be in a separate meeting. As the host, I can bounce from room to room and make sure everybody's on track, everybody's got all their questions answered. Also, these individuals can reach out to me directly as the host and say, hey, we have a question. I can go find that room, click join, and move over to that room as well and answer their question. I can also send a broadcast, which means I can send one message to everybody and say, 5 more minutes, I'm going to bring you back into our main room, and we'll have a group discussion on what you learned or what you discussed.
Indicate that participants have successfully connected when the gray dot turns green. Meeting participants will be prompted to join breakout rooms where they can speak on audio, show their webcams, share screen, and chat as normal. They can also ask for help to send a prompt to the meeting host.
All right, so that's where I was talking about that piece where they can send a message to me directly for help. But so breakout rooms, I just want to give you that high overview. I think what's going to be best is for me to create some notes here and send these videos for you guys to follow up so we can be leery of the time that we have available. So I'm going to create, and what I'll do is I'll send this over to you, Jackie, this email with all of this information, and then I'll let you forward it on to everybody to let them take a look in their own time. But
And
so
they as well go to the Zoom Help Center, right?
correct. That is, and yeah, thank you. That's a good point. This going to zoom.us is a lifesaver for you. In terms of timing, if you click this little support button up here, it's going to bring you to our Zoom Help Center. Everything you really need here, if you want an instant response, is right here. Also, we do have 24/7 live chat support down here, so you can always use them regardless of the plan you have. But, you know, we mentioned breakout rooms. I type that in. It's going to give me tons of videos like the one you just watched with all of this information. And the same goes for, you know, if we want to talk about webinars and registrations right here. Oh, here's registrations for meetings. Here's registrations for webinars. There's going to be step-by-step images with explanations of exactly where you should be and what you should be clicking on. This is very in-depth and very thorough. So taking advantage of this page will help quite a bit. So in terms of the meetings, you know, we got people in the meeting. We can run those breakout rooms. We talked about that. You can do polling and a couple other things. I see you guys already take advantage of chat, which is great. And the next thing is difference between a meeting and a webinar. Great question. Meeting is a high school classroom is the analogy I use. Everybody sees each other. Everybody hears each other. I'm going to share my screen here right now. I love to put it on the gallery view, or we call it the Brady Bunch view, because I can see everybody. I see Linda nodding. You know, I see Helen nodding. Like, I understand. Oh, they know where I'm going with this. If somebody looks puzzled, I can then, you know, hey, Linda, I see you have a question. What, you know, where's that going? So I like to use the meeting for trainings, and also for your one-on-one. If you're bringing a new team member on, I would also recommend the meetings platform because you're going to see each other, you're going to hear each other. The webinar platform, however, is a little bit different. For the webinar, the host and any panelists will be seen and heard, but the attendees are not seen or heard by anybody. In terms of direct selling, that is essentially your network growing piece, because it's your chance to present the opportunity to these individuals at a very high level with no pressure to them. You know, a lot of the people that are maybe interested don't really want to be called out with questions right away. They just want to sit back and, you know, what is Evelyn talking about here? So I can sit back, I'm not seen, I'm not heard. I can just listen to what you have to offer. So that's really where the webinar is, the network growing piece, because it's very high level. It's not invasive at all for those individuals. Once they get the information from you and understand what the opportunity is in front of them, that's where you get them into a Zoom meeting and then have a conversation with them over Zoom. You can see their facial expressions. You can start to build that relationship with the individuals. So that's the biggest difference between the meeting and the webinar.
Good.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, and I'm going to share another piece with you here. This is our IM client. I know a lot of people are using GroupMe, WhatsApp. Some people might be using like a Skype or a Slack. Zoom has an integrated IM client, so our chat here. And as you can see, I've added Jackie. I can see her presence, so I know she's in a Zoom meeting right now, obviously this one. But from here, what I can do is, one, just back and forth conversations. The other thing you can do is you can create groups. And for the direct selling industry, once again, you might have, so we have our Denver. I'm in Denver, and we have a Denver group. There's 349 of us. Everybody that's maybe located in an area, or maybe it's a level, so maybe this group that I'm with right now creates your own Jafra group on the IM client. I can send messages. I can @ people so I know they get a notification. So if I want to say @ Todd Nye, I could do that. And he's going to get this message directly on his phone. It's going to pop up. With one click of a button, here's another value add. I can call 349 people. Obviously not going to do that right now. I don't think they'd be too happy with me interrupting their mornings, but I could dial out to all 349 people with a single click of a button. So once again, traditionally what might be happening for you guys is if you have an announcement or you have something, maybe you're sending a Facebook message and then some people see it and then others are at work, so they don't look for 5 hours later. And in the meantime, other people have been adding to that message, and then the original message is lost for that individual that didn't see it for 5 hours later. In here, I can tag them specifically. So I can say at Todd Nye, and he's going to have a red saying at me. So I know there's a message at me. So that's specific to me. I need to see that. Or the same thing with at all. At all means that everybody's going to get that notification, hey, you should see this. So pretty valuable there as well. If you are connected on this IM client, what you can do traditionally, three-way calls would be, let's say I'm a new member and Jackie brought me on maybe 2 weeks ago, a month ago, and I'm now building my own team, but I'm not sure of everything right now. I don't know maybe a product that Jafra has to offer, or maybe a question about the back office and payment. And so I'm meeting with, let's say I'm meeting with Betty right now, and she asks a question. In the past, it might have been, oh, good question, Betty. I'll go ask my leader and get back to you tomorrow or the next day. Chances are I might have lost that opportunity because if I don't get them rolling right away, they might go dark on me. With Zoom, what I can do is, Betty, great question. I'm going to bring in my leader. So I would go and I would search for Jackie. I would click here, invite. All of a sudden, her phone rings, her computer rings. She jumps into the call, and I introduce her. So once again, we're building that culture. Introduce her, let her, say hi or whatever, and then she can answer your question, and then I can move to the next stage of the sales cycle. And ideally, hopefully, because she answered your question, you know what, Betty, now that we've got that taken care of, let's get you signed up online. I can get you a 10% discount if we get this done today or whatever you need to do. But you can just move that sales cycle along much quicker. Let's see. Just going to review a couple questions here. How often should we be updating our Zoom? Monthly maybe. We don't push any updates, but if you take a look at it monthly, in the webinar setting, can you see who is logged in? Yes. In the webinar, you'll see this participants list, but you just won't see their face and they can't interrupt your meeting. So when you have bigger meetings, I also recommend the webinar because it's easy for somebody to unmute themselves on accident. Maybe there's a dog barking, kid crying in the background. It can be disruptive. That's not going to be an issue with the webinar. Also with the webinar, if you do need to, so somebody is a participant, they're not seen or heard, but they ping you, they send a message because you can chat in there as well. I can actually escalate them to have their video and audio on if they did want to say something to the entire group. Yes. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I wanted to also add this. If you're connected on the Zoom chat, it's very easy to bring an individual into an existing meeting. So it's the three-way call for 2020, essentially, where we're moving forward. It's no longer just that traditional audio call. It's one click of a button to bring a third person into my conversation. So I've got about 10 more minutes before I have to go prep for my next one. Jackie, what else? So we've covered the IM client. We've talked about meetings. We've talked about webinars. What are the other key sticking points that you've had before I open it up to the entire group for questions? Was there anything else you really wanted me to touch on? There's just so much that...
I know. I think the key is, this has worked so well in our region, from one-on-one to small groups to, I think on Friday we had 80 people at one time. So again, it's just been a platform. So my kind of push forward is to know, where do I go learn? That was my summer school, as I'm going through all the Zoom videos and just learning different things like polling, all of that. So there's so much there, like you just said. I would just say, Isaac, for now, due to timing, let's grab the 2 participants who have had their hand up Anyone else, just to save time, quickly type in any questions you have in addition to. And if we don't get to them today, Isaac, I'll forward them to you. With some Q&A that I will be able to post in our group.
Perfect. So let's start with Lisa then. I see you have your hand up. Your question might have got answered in chat, but
Hey, no, my question was not answered. I have two really. My first question is in the breakout rooms. You were showing how you can, take individuals and put them into a break. Are we just throwing them into the room, or do they get like a little notice saying you're invited into this breakout room and they get a chance to accept it, or are they just summarily kicked out of the main room into the breakout room?
good question. They do get a notification that says Isaac has or invited you to breakout room, whatever, because you can rename the breakout rooms if you want. You can do all that stuff. But it'll say you've been invited and then you can accept it. But then there's also a clock. So typically it shouldn't be an issue because obviously I'm going to tell these people that, hey, we're going into breakout rooms. So they're not just like all of a sudden out of the main room. So I would definitely say setting the expectation of the breakout room is even more important. So they're not just in a room with 3 other people and they don't know what they're doing. Just setting the expectation of what you intend to be done in that smaller conversation.
Okay, great. And I was in a situation where somebody invited me into a breakout room, but I didn't see the notification. I didn't know to look for it. And so I just wondered how that worked. Okay, my second question is, I noticed that on my computer version of Zoom, I have my name and I have my avatar, my photo. But on my app, on my phone version, it doesn't transfer over there. So is there a way, do I have to set them up separately, or is there a way to make it work on both?
If you're signed in to the same Zoom account on both the mobile device and the computer, all those settings are going to be the same. So I'm guessing what might be happening is, could you possibly be signed up on a different account on the mobile device, a different email?
No, what I'm noticing is, like, I'm on Jackie's Zoom right now. If I get on that Zoom on my computer, it shows my photo and my name. But if I get on that Zoom like I am right now, it shows a different name, which I went in there and put in, but I didn't see where to put my photo in on here. So on here, you can see my name, which I just put Beauty Boss Lisa, but there's no avatar, no photo. And so I noticed that it didn't transfer from one platform to the other. And I just wondered, is there any way to make it do that, or do I just have to set those up separately?
It should be the same thing. It should be transferring anything I have saved, because if I'm on my mobile device right now, if I'm scroll over and I go into safe driving mode, it's going to show my photo. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could be going on with your account right now. So what I would recommend to get this answered is to take advantage of this team. They'll be able to support you better. This is they're dedicated to support. So I would jump on here and run that by them, because the only thing I could think of is 2 separate email addresses. Like, you're not signed into the same account on your phone as you are on your laptop, and that's what's causing the discrepancy. But if that's not the issue, definitely take advantage of the team here, and they'll be able to answer that.
Okay, I'll reach out to them. Thank you.
Perfect. Yep.
That was it. Bye.
All right. And Carol, I know you had a question earlier down here, and it got answered regarding the green screen.
No, I had another question.
Go ahead.
Okay, and first of all, thank you, because Zoom support folks have been awesome. So you did answer that question, but I'm still not sure. I couldn't see the screen that you were showing when you were doing the Instant Mesher IM client stuff. I had no idea what you were talking about. I tried to make the screen bigger. I couldn't see anything that was on there.
Are you on your desktop or are you on a mobile device?
I'm on a tablet.
Okay, and I just want to make sure everybody that's on a computer, they could see the IM client. Fine. Okay, yeah, so it's just your screen was a little small. Yeah, so I think I would do the same thing then. If you go to our support page and you type in, is it IM? Yeah, we can go to the group messaging and messaging chat, and this will give you kind of that overview of what I was introducing to you here.
Okay, so where do I go on the tech support? Go type in IM?
Yeah, IM, yeah, or if you have specific questions, I would say once again,
Okay.
coming here.
Okay, but I
Yep.
still don't know I still don't even know what you were talking about in that whole segment.
No.
Yeah,
So
and
I'll have to read it. I'll read it and absorb it because I had no idea what that was even about.
well, and the other thing is Jackie's recording this, so
Yes.
once you get the recording, if you can jump on a computer, a bigger screen, then you can just rewatch the recording as well.
I have a question. Just on, do I become a host when I start meeting, or do I, because I've been just clicking on join.
Mhm.
And then I wasn't the host. So do I have to start the meeting, click on that icon in order to be the host?
Yeah, to be a host, it's whoever scheduled the meeting is the host. And then obviously, like we talked about at the beginning, you can give host privileges to others, but
Right.
to start, the host of the meeting is whoever scheduled it.
Right. Well, whoever scheduled it, but if I scheduled it, but I just click on join, I have to click on start, right? Start meeting, because I'm the host.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. I didn't understand that, but that's good.
All right, so I've got about 3 minutes. Any other existing questions? And if some people missed the chat, one was how many breakout rooms can you have? As many as you need. If you have 50 people, you can have 25 breakout rooms, 2 people into a room. Or if you have 50 and you want to go 10 rooms of 5 or 5 rooms of 10, whatever you want to do, you can take advantage of that. The messenger piece, the IM piece, is included on the free version. So even if somebody does not have a paid account yet, you can connect with them on there. I'm just going through the...
Isaac, so I haven't done any of this yet. So if I go to the help page, it'll walk me through setting up the free account and doing all of that, right?
Mm-hmm. And if you do want a in-depth just Zoom 101, if you go to the support page, so once again, go into Zoom and then click support, we do have live trainings where these individuals' only role is to train Zoom users in these live events, and they'll run them, weekly.
Okay.
If that doesn't work for you, we do have recorded sessions. So if the time of the live one doesn't work, jump in here, and then you can run Getting Started Zoom. Happened on June 12th, but I can watch the recorded version from here. So I would definitely recommend, and when in here, Getting Started with Zoom Meetings training. So these two, and then if you're going to utilize webinars down the road, I'd recommend that one too.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, so they're all excited about the breakout rooms. They're turning them into timeout rooms when they don't behave on my Zoom meetings. So gotta love it, right? So Isaac, we are just so appreciative of your time. I really wanted to, we've been talking about systems in our coaching groups and just renewing. We just celebrated 63 years this month. So it's a time of year that we look at all the systems for coaching, communication, training, how we give recognition. And so you all know this is one of the top tools I believe in. And so I'll challenge you all to do a little more zooming on Zoom and just go to school, learn, practice. It doesn't break when we try. I will be doing the same thing come this fall. But I will tell you, Zoom is the platform of direct sales today. So I'm definitely, I say spend the $14.95 or whatever the price may be a month and try it for a few months and let yourself just see how much more you can do with your clients, with your consultants, with your district. And it really is an amazing platform. So they also have the best support. And so as we have needs, keep feeding the questions to me, because if Isaac and I down the road need to have version number 2 or anything in the near future, he's been amazing, and we absolutely are here to make Zoom be a platform that really excels you and your team forward in this new year. So thank you again, Isaac. Appreciate you.
Yep, absolutely. And then there's one last question. Difference between the free and the paid. Free version, you're limited to a 40-minute conversation. You can't record to the cloud, and you can't utilize that personal meeting ID or customize that personal meeting ID like I mentioned. Those are the big differentiators between the free and the paid accounts.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much again. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I had one more question to Susan. I came on late, but you may have already answered this. I had a free account. I changed it to a paid account, and I do the start a meeting. And then what happens is it changes my code number that I had to something else. I didn't realize that. Nobody could get on. So now what I do is I join a meeting, I back out, I go back and to get my number that everyone knows. So is there something else I can do that's easier?
Yeah, so within your settings, you can select, once you select your PMI, there's another button below that says use PMI for scheduled meetings. And then so that's automatically going to use that same static number. If you don't have that checked, then it's going to generate a random number.
Okay, all right. 'Cause I didn't realize that until I couldn't get anybody on my meeting, and I was like, what happened? So, yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Great question. Thank you. All right, thank you, Isaac.
Yes, thanks everybody.
Appreciate you from all the different places you've been to with us today in your backdrop. Thank
All
you.
right, see ya.
I love it. Look at Miss Evelyn up there. What city are you in, Evelyn? Oh, you're muted. Go ahead.
I've been playing around with this for weeks now. I've had so many different background choices. I think you've seen me do this one once before. You've seen me at the library. I've done this for my Christmas in July. So I've just been playing around with different backgrounds. So it's been fun. Yeah, the last month or two.
Love it, love it, love it. That's awesome. So thank you. Before I end this recording and we go to segment number 2 of our goal achieving webinar, is there any other questions in regards to Zoom that you have?
Evelyn, do you have a green screen?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you buy the one that he talked about?
No, because I move around too much. So I just have one that just really sits onto my screen. I mean, I actually purchased mine from Amazon. So I was a kit. So I got the green screen and 2 photography backdrops, 4 lighting, and I don't know, a few things. It was a big packet. So so it's been fine for me. I like it. I love it.
Jackie, this is Susan. I have a question.
Thank you, Evelyn. Go ahead, Susan.
My question was when you record the Zoom meetings, because I have a paid account and I record them and my consultants watch it later, but there's no way to know who watched it. It just shows a number, and I wanted to know if he could tell us if there's a way we can look to see who watched the video. Because it shows when you go to your recordings under, you know, the format he's just been showing us about your account and everything, you can go to your recordings and you can go along it and it'll show you how many people have viewed your recording. So I just wondered if there was a way to know who was those. Like right now I did my meeting last week and 9 people have watched it. And I would like to know who are those 9 people.
I would type that in your Zoom Help Center. Do you store yours on YouTube or do you store it in the cloud?
I store it in the cloud with Zoom.
Okay. Yeah, I'm because we do ours on YouTube. To be honest, I don't know. I haven't used the Zoom iCloud that way. But definitely go into that Zoom Support Center and type in the question.
Yeah, because I like the cloud because it sends you a link after it's done. and then I just send the link out in an email. Here's the meeting that, you know, that you missed. And I have a lot of people watch it.
That's excellent. And it's a great way, again, to serve people. You're never going to find the perfect day and time for anything, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's really smart. Yeah. If you get that answer, if there's a trick to seeing those attendees, please put it in WhatsApp for us. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Go ahead, Evelyn.
Oh. Not a question, but I have a comment, is that I have been using the Zoom where I can stream it to Facebook. And the reason I like that is when you're doing a Facebook Live, you cannot show PowerPoint if you want it to, or if you can't do real training. And so I can Zoom and still do a streaming or a PowerPoint or whatever I want to do. And it's showing live at that same time. And I also always record what I'm doing. I've never recorded to the cloud. I usually record to my computer and then I upload it onto YouTube. And then I send it out to, I can either put it on Facebook or send it out to my team, whatever. So there's a lot of flexibility.
I love that you're streaming. That is the only way you're going to be able to share your screen. And so it is a way to have Facebook Live a little bit more interactive. You have to practice. So the best thing I can tell you is watch their video how to do it and then just practice, because it's getting used to the timing of it, right? But it really is, it's a wonderful tool that cuts those barriers of the Facebook Live limitations. So thank you for sharing that. We were going to go there today. But I just told them, let's kind of do core basics, because if we all move into all these tools, we'll get better and better at it. So I love that you're doing that. So you would be a great person down the road as we move forward with everybody starting to use it, how you're maximizing that, because it's brilliant. It's something they just added this summer, and it's a really groovy, cool feature.
I have a question for Susan. So in the cloud, how many, do you overextend your cloud usage?
No, I don't at all. It doesn't overextend it at all. They give you.
It doesn't
quite a
limit
bit.
you?
Yeah, they give you quite a bit. I can't remember how much it is. And then, every once in a while I'll go through them and delete, the old ones.
Yeah.
So I never overuse my cloud storage with them, which is nice. But I
Yeah.
have a paid account.
Okay. Yeah, I did too.
Okay. Yes, and there's two recorded versions. They record it the video version, and then they record a voice version only. So I always delete immediately the voice version only. So that helps with saving in the cloud. But again, I have not they've said where, oh, you've got too much in the cloud.
Okay. Thank you.
And I think it's easier than, you can download it to your computer and then upload it, but it takes forever to upload something like on Facebook from when you've saved it. So it takes forever. Whereas with our link, I even post my link on my Facebook group as my consultants. So I post the link on my Facebook group as well. So it's just easy. They just touch it and go.
Good.
Thank you for that. Lisa, did you have a comment? Go ahead.
It was just something, a tip. I know that when you first start going live and recording and Zooming, it can be nerve-wracking. Years ago, I was in a class and they taught me, this was way back when Facebook first started, to business page. It said, start a business page, start a page, and just name it test page. Like I have a page called Lisa's Test Page, and you don't publish it. That means nobody can find it, nobody can see it, but you can go on there and practice lives, and you can practice Zooming with your live, and you can do all kinds of things on there that until you get comfortable with it. You can even do your recording, and then if you wanted to like record something and share it with your team, you can do that. All of that is unpublished, but it's like a practice ground. And I've shared that tip with lots of people. And I know West Coast Sharon says, wow, I got to get on this practice page and practice this something. She says it all the time. So it was a tip that I got, as I said, years ago. So start you a practice page, and you can work out the nerves and the kinks.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. That's great.
Great idea.
Absolutely.
That's just a business page. You can do that through a business page, you said?
Yeah, they don't even call them business pages anymore. They just call them pages. Just like
Okay.
they don't call them VIP groups anymore. They just call them groups. So it's kind of evolved. But yes, it is the equivalent of a business page, and you don't publish it, and nobody can see it but you. You can make all the bloopers you want.
That's
You know,
awesome.
Lisa, I do that on Zoom as well. You can go have a meeting by yourself, and I practice that way and see what it looks like, record it, and then go back and look what it looks like. So I've done that on Zoom as well.
Yes, and especially now that you can Zoom to Facebook, you definitely want a page so that you can see how the interface works, because you don't want to just jump out there and try to figure it out.
Right. That's great.
So think of how, to Susan's point, and Lisa, thank you. That is so rock star smart. Oh my gosh, duh, that is so good. So I love that. Thank you. To Susan's point, there's a purpose to Zoom. The one thing that I kept reading in all of the direct selling news when I worked really close with Isaac over the summer, as he took on Jafra's national account, and all the direct sales companies are moving towards this. One of the things that I will challenge you to do, I will be doing my own next week in September, but imagine going in by yourself and recording a welcome to Jafra message for your new consultant.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I've been, yeah.
Right, so you're a video, you're this, permanent opportunity to be live. People resonate more to your face than they do the audio. Like he said, conference calls, no more. People, and again, it's all the different places you could have a video, from when you gave out a sachet, bringing yourself to life. Hi, it was great to meet you today. Just wanted to remind you who I am, how to reach me, and how to use the sachet I gave you today. So think of all of the places, from prospecting to hostess coaching, to, again, onboarding a new consultant, how you do your monthly recognition. Think about this platform, how you can use it in and of itself as a video. And then again, as we're talking about how to stream and when to stream into Facebook, the power of video, the power, even coaching. I mean, literally, I am typically on camera about 6 to 8 hours a day. I do one-on-ones this way, small group. I don't do three-way calls like Isaac said. I really don't like the telephone. So the relationship is 80% more effective face-to-face. So it doesn't replace being in a room, ever. There's nothing like a touch. But at the same time, again, my charges as we look at new systems in the year 63, how do I really engage more with my clients, my hostesses, my consultants, my leaders, my future directors? How am I communicating, coaching, training, and giving recognition in today's most effective ways? It's when they not only hear your voice, but see you. So think about that in your new system. And I know all of our coaching groups, that's what we've been talking about for the last 2 months, is reinventing our systems in a more groovy, new, engaging way. That's what keeps retention and onboarding more fun. So videos do it. I know Linda, right? I always love you because she's always like, she never sends me a text. She does this, hi, it's Linda. I just wanted to check in and give you my life update. And she does this video and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much better than a text. And she just pops it into my text message and does it right from her phone. So my mantra today was to bring Zoom to a new level for all of you. And again, go to their site. They have so much plethora of information to make you feel your best, look your best, and have confidence. And if you just block each week a little Zoom time, a little Zoom training, I know many of you are going to Facebook Summer School, just block that time, because that technology of communication has completely shifted. And it's so much better today than it ever has been. For $14.95 a month, oh my gosh. Even having someone do Zoom while you're doing your meeting room. So Helen, when you're at Long Beach tonight, have someone hire a client who comes in and she's actually doing Zoom. So you've got 30 people in your meeting across the nation. Don't limit where you live or traffic or all the excuses we hear. Just invite them to come in on Zoom. So, and I think the most important thing in a summary, and of course I get a hotel room that there's construction. Oh my gosh, sorry if you hear noise. So I can't Zoom that one out. But if you can also teach your team, pause as you're doing more with Zoom to show them how to put the picture on. Look at the difference when you see a picture of Carol Mosby and then you just see a name. There's a huge difference, whether they're live or not. If you can, try to teach your team that this is their hour, come on camera, try not to multitask, right? Have them again, make sure their picture is up there. When they watch a recording and there's all these pictures and a name, they're still again having more engagement, feeling a part of a team. Show them how to type in their name versus a phone number, and you might have them put their state, right? So there's different things you can do as they come in, or type in the chat how to do that. So pause and we'll teach. We're doing the same thing. We're gonna hit refresh on how we're using Zoom in all its capacities. In order to be in the group texting, we need to know who's on Zoom or has like a free account or a personal account they're paid for. So we can't just add everybody without knowing. Right now with Jafra, we have no idea how many people have a paid account. So Isaac's gonna do a polling that I will send to all of you so that he knows who's doing free accounts, who's doing paid accounts. We didn't wanna do it today, but we're gonna send that out so then we can create this chat group that if all of a sudden I have something new from Jafra, I can message you. It is so fast. It's like WhatsApp on steroids. It's so cool. And it pops up really quick. And it just says, hey, hot announcement, join us in 10 minutes. And it would go to all of you. But we can't do that group until we know who's got an account number free or an account number paid. So he's gonna do a polling for us all. We'll put that together and get that out so that we know literally our goal in the future, FYI as I close this segment, is our goal is to get even discounts for all of you, okay? But we can't until we know kind of how many are here and then work with Jafra on this. So I wanted him to come in, get to know you all, and then bring Jafra a proposal that they would agree that we would use that as part of our corporate account and be able to get us all deeper discounts. So even if your consultants wanted to do that, to host parties, onboard their new team members, have client parties and use it on Facebook, they would be able to get this Jafra discount. So just know future forward, that's what Isaac and I are gonna work on as well. We believe you have to have 50 total. He's negotiating with the company for us. We're one of the larger ones, but we just can't identify who it is. So he's gonna work with us on that so that, again, you all get deeper discounts like he shared already with the green screens today. So his goal is to get more and more of us being able to use this platform because it's exploding. Down the road, sneak peek, ready? Down the road, they're working on, let's say I was doing this meeting in English, they will have natural translation. So if you record it, there's also a byte that records it in another language, live and or recording. And there's so many cool features. I'm in awe. I have spent hours this summer with him looking at this platform, and I'm working on selling it to the corporate office, working on what we can do in the field. It is unbelievable where this company is going to go to help you have every type of communication on steroids with your teams and your clients. So that was my intention of a restart in August for each and every one of you to just really look at what we're doing. So I'm just going to take, let me look at my time, sorry. All right. So we've got about 5 minutes max on this recording subject, and then we're going to go into recognition and closing the month strong. Is there any particular questions or comments that you continue to have? I haven't looked in the chat. I've been paying attention, so go ahead.
Jackie, this is Susan again. I don't know if you can hear me because I'm driving, but when I went for my free account just a couple months ago to the paid, they gave me a deal, and it was a deal like for everybody for $13 a month.
Nice. Very good to know. Thank you. I didn't realize they did that. So $13 is the new number. That's it. That's amazing. That's crazy. So love it. Thank you for that update.
Does
All
that
right.
mean that if we already are paying $14.95, we can get 13?
So what I would do is go to your chat support
and ask.
Yep, and ask. They're excellent at follow through.
Okay.
Great question. Okay, anyone else? Comments, questions? How did today help? Was it good?
Yeah, it was great.
Good.
I want to say something. Susan and I have been Zooming every week for, it's been, what, 2 years now? And I'm telling you, you're right. Seeing each other makes a huge difference. And I'm excited. I was kind of stuck in just using it one way, but now I feel very empowered to truly improve my communication with the whole team. And I guess my next question would be, number one, I want to hear from Susan Hall about cloud. I also want to know how to get the message out to my team. Do you do it through email? How do you let everybody know?
Okay, I'll answer the cloud. When you go to record, it asks you, do you want to record via the cloud or to your computer?
Okay.
That's the only thing you have to do.
Oh, simple. Okay.
Simple. And then once you've entered your meeting, you know, end the recording, in about 10 to 15 minutes, you get an email from them saying your recording is ready, and here is the link for your whoever you want to send it out to. And
So
then
they take care of it for you.
yes, and then I just copy and paste that, and I put it in an email, and I put it on my Facebook group that's just for consultants. So I send it out to both of them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And Donna, what was your question? Go for it. You're muted.
I kind of know what a cloud is, but I don't at the same time. So what's the advantage versus a cloud versus putting it on your computer? I know, I kind of know the cloud signal, but I don't have it on my phone.
It's a storage area that's away from your home and away from your computer. They're storing it for you for free.
Okay. Okay.
Whereas you're storing, you have to download it to your computer, which takes a while. And then when you have to upload it, it takes a while, whether it's Facebook. I don't know how fast YouTube is because I don't use YouTube. But Facebook, if you upload it to Facebook, it takes forever. It could take half an hour, 45 minutes. Because my meetings are like an hour long. I keep them to an hour. So that takes a while to upload it to wherever. So it's taking storage on your computer, which, I mean, it doesn't matter. But uploading it somewhere, it's going to take a long time to upload it. Whereas if it's in the cloud already with Zoom, they're storing it for you, and then you can send it out quickly. And once they touch that link, it comes up immediately.
Okay, great. Okay, so I got to get a cloud. So I just search.
No, you don't have to get a cloud. It's through Zoom. If you have a paid account,
got it.
Have a paid account through Zoom. It's their Zoom. It's their cloud account. It's nobody else's. It's Zoom's.
So you can email, Facebook, or text it to people. So, right?
Yes. Yeah. You could text it to people too. Yeah. If they send you a link, you just copy it and then just send it wherever.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you.
Welcome.
Awesome. Anything else before we end this segment?
I love this, Jackie.
It's a refresh, right? It's like, okay, let's go make this thing work. So such a cool platform with holiday open houses. I mean, just imagine adding those layers to it. And I love the backdrop to everything. So just so many
Can
cool
I
ways.
ask Evelyn a question?
Please do.
Evelyn, so where are you on Facebook? Where are you live streaming it to? Your public group or to your business page, to a private group? Where are you live streaming it?
Depends on what it is that I'm doing. If it's for
Okay.
my clients, if it's for my I was always doing things to my VIP group, but now I'm starting to do more on my business page.
Okay.
I don't have any of it on my personal page at all.
Right.
And something just for my team, then I'll put it to my consultants page.
Okay.
And
So
then
it just
what I-
depends.
It all depends on what it is. On the
Okay.
content. I do have a recording already set for every time I have a new I'm onboarding a new member, then there's a recording that I send that shows everything. And I've actually done a few of them. One just as welcome. I've done one how to place an order, and I've done another one exploring the Facebook
Right.
job for bids.
Yes, I love it for that tool too. We didn't talk about that, but that's a tool we use. I use that as well. Instead of trying to explain it over and over again, like how to order and walk them through them, you just do a Zoom and then save it. Yeah, but I save mine to the cloud.
Right.
So-
And I also use Zoom if I am sponsoring someone. And if I'm not with them live, then sitting next to them, then I do the Zoom with them, and then I'm walking through, showing them step by step how to do everything. And so it just makes a really good experience, and helping them place their orders, getting their $400 in with it. It's a fabulous tool.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
you can share your screen and show them those different things, whether it be live or a recording. Awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I can tell you during last year when SAP was being integrated, oh my gosh, I don't know truly how Lori, myself, and the whole team that was volunteering could have survived. Literally, we would have people who would be like, oh, I don't want to download something to my phone. I'm like, no, I'm going to send you this link, click on it. They would be 95 years old, literally scared, right? And I said, click, I will be on my computer and I'm going to show you how to do this. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and I had notes that afterwards they were like, that's cool. I didn't know we could do that for free. I now use it with my grandkids, right? So, I mean, it's just such a platform of, communication again, just like WhatsApp and all of that, where again, even in WhatsApp, start doing videos. Everything has a video capacity. The power of connection in a video versus typing, talking, texting is so completely elevated, 80% more effective. So that really was our mantra for today. I say thank you for everyone who is, again, sharing today, and all of you. Let's just have fun. Keep on sharing with each other new things you've learned or tried. That's the beauty of our Facebook group. That's the beauty of our WhatsApp, and soon to be the way we'll communicate as well on the instant messaging with Zoom. So this now ends our Zoom training and recording. Please note, we will store this in two places. I'll put it in 2 units. It will be in our Facebook group under the Leaders Toolkit, of course, from July to December. But I will also store it. Lori has one segment that does have tutorials for Zoom, WhatsApp, Facebook, reports. We have one place where we keep tutorials. And so we will also store it there. I'll store it in 2 different places because I like to make kind of a spade and keep them where they belong. So please note, we will keep that there as well. For technology, again, I love what Evelyn's saying. I walk them through. Let's get WhatsApp set up. Let's get your Facebook set up. Let's get Zoom set up. These are our top 3 formats of communication for free. And so we want to help them, not make them feel unincluded, right? Or they're not participating. So do that, encourage them. Where do they have a camera? On their phone, if not on their computer or tablet, go to Walmart, go buy a $10 camera, go to Amazon, ship one to your door tomorrow. They're inexpensive. If you have problems in your sound on your computer, there's testing your computer's sounds built right in your microphone on the bottom left. Click up there and test it. If it doesn't sound good, again, go to Walmart, Don't go to Best Buy. You're not buying expensive tools. Just go to Walmart and go buy, you know, some nice inexpensive computer speakers. So again, your sound can go through all of better equipment than some of the computers or technology you're using. That's just the unit that you own. It doesn't mean you're doing a setting wrong. Sometimes it's just what's built in the technology that you own. All right. So definitely look at buying all of those different tools because they do make Zoom work better and anything you're recording. Lights, I know Lori's posted the O-rings. They do matter. Even in my hotel room, I got here and I grabbed a light because look at what it would look like if I didn't have a light. Okay. Your image matters, right? So again, just keeping light, keeping things bright, make it better for the audience in viewing. So sound and light and visual does matter, okay? Pay attention to what people are seeing. They instantly build an image of your brand by what your background is like. So be conscious of that, right? So all of those things matter. So I'm going to end today. Thank you again for the Zoom session. Please stay tuned. I'm going to actually do our recognition in a separate recording, but what we're going to do next is just do the closing to the month of August for another 10-15 minutes. So thank you again for today. This is Jackie and the amazing team of the Amber Region signing off.